Hi guys, it's Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Technique Thursday to share with you a slew of ribbon techniques. So we are going to, oh my goodness, I see the downward facing camera is frozen. So we're going to talk for a little bit while I get that resolved. But we are going to be showing off the cards for an upcoming class. Oh my goodness, I am all messed up here. For an upcoming class called Fitting Florets. It is amazing. The cards are fantastic. And I'm really going to hype them up now while I'm buying myself some time. But no, they're really great. I really enjoy these cards a lot. So I think you will too. So let's see if that was enough. Oh my goodness. All right, so I think we're okay. What we're gonna do is give her a shot. All right, so also, we're gonna bear with me because I feel the pressure of congestion just setting in. So my brain is a little foggy. Oh, and now we got this because I messed with the situation. Okay, so I'm going to just start by showing off the cards because they are oh so great. I can't even get enough of them. So we are looking at, there are 5 different cards and there are a bunch of fun folds in here. So I'm going to just show you what the cards look like. And then we're going to talk through some of this crazy, beautiful ribbon. Honestly, the ribbon on these cards elevate the cards like none other. And with the registration for this card class, you actually get DSP, ribbon, embellishments. So you get what you need to make the cards as beautiful as they look right here in front of you. So, a lot of really great things going on here. I realized I didn't open the first few cards. Okay, so here's what we got. This is another, let's see here. Let's go like this maybe. So this is how it opens. You can see it's got there we go. There we go. But this is what it looks like from the front, which is stunning. Okay, so you can see on all of these cards that the ribbon really steals the show. So the ribbon that we're using is the crinkle seam binding ribbon in white and the shimmer ribbon in gold. And then on these cards we used the gold adhesive backed swirls, which are really nice. And then here is the DSP, which is also very pretty. I love how the DSP always has like one prominent side and one more universal or muted, or I guess universal is the word I'm looking for. So like one side is very floral, very specialized to match the suite. So here we've got the framed floret stamps, and then the dies are called framed floret dies, and then there's framed and festive sentiments, which, oh, I love. I went to school for graphic design, and this type, so good. I love it. Okay, so we are going to take one of these flowers and fussy cut it. Fussy cutting may or may not be one of your favorite things to do. This is, well, it says it's a paper scissor, but it's pretty gluey. Eesh, very gluey. So we're going to struggle a little bit here. So don't judge up on my fussy cutting skills based on this video. But fussy cutting can either be very therapeutic or can be very menacing, depending on where you stand. I used to more enjoy fussy cutting. Now I just see it as a roadblock. I think that also has to do with the evolution of dyes and how far dyes have come. But not every set has dyes, and this set does have dyes, but I don't think all of the dyes cut these particular shapes out. I mean, some of the shapes definitely match, and maybe there is one for this one. I don't know, but we are going to fussy cut, and we are going to love every minute of it. So let's go ahead and get this done. These little leaves are really killing me. Oh my goodness. I can feel, you know, with this cold or whatever I'm getting, I can feel that it's starting to wear on me, because I can tell, like, my arms are getting, just my body's getting tired. So we're just gonna try to get ahead of it, though, because today, or maybe it was last night, I started to feel the congestion. So hopefully I'm ahead of it enough that I can be in charge. All right, just a few more little guys. Now this particular flower is used on right here, but it's used in conjunction with another, wait. Oh, I think I see what's happening here. We got trickiness. All right. So, I'll explain to you my motive in a second. All right, so this is utilized here, but because of how it lays out as attached, it would cover up the words. So we just cut them apart right through here. Okay, so the first step would be to attach them to each other, which I will do by throwing just a dot of glue on this one petal here. And then we'll pop this petal on there. So this is relatively how they stick together. And I wonder, all right, well that works. That's something like that. Okay, so then in doing ribbon, you don't want to use liquid glue, for sure. Liquid glue is a no-no, and I'm a liquid glue like aficionado. She's my favorite. But that is not the right adhesive for ribbon. I also don't advise using glue runner, or like tape runner, I should say. Not necessarily gonna give you a good outcome. Isn't as bad as liquid glue, but I still wouldn't advise using it. Definitely would 100% hands down use tear and tape. So that is what we are going to use. You could probably also get by with glue dots a little more strategically. Okay, so here we have our gold shimmer ribbon and our crinkle seam binding ribbon. So So what I would do is, for all of these, I would start by layering some tear and tape on the back. Oh, I gotta find where it starts. And like in this one, most of the ribbon is on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some tear and tape towards the bottom of our flowers. And then take it off the back. So now we have live adhesive just waiting to be used. So on this card, you can see that we've got the white closest to the flowers, and then, so like on top, and then the gold is on the bottom. There is absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. So you can take scraps, you can take it straight off the roll, but essentially what we're gonna do is put down a tail and then weave up a loop. And because we're layering gold with this as well, we don't want it completely filled in. So we're not, like, that doesn't look like much, but because we're gonna layer the gold in there, we're gonna leave it and then hop over to this side where I'm going to throw down a loop and a tail. Now, definitely does not need to be one continuous piece of ribbon. This is absolutely a great way to utilize scraps. So like, for instance, I'm probably being a little wasteful here, not a ton, but you definitely would not need to use one continuous piece of ribbon here. Then of course you want to trim the tails. And here you have your white. Now, because there is still a little exposed tear and tape on the back, you could get by throwing a little bit of gold on there, but largely you're gonna need some more tear and tape to hold down your next level of ribbon, which is the gold. And we're gonna be a little more aggressive with the gold because we're just gonna put more gold down because it's so prominent and it really, really amplifies the card. And it ties in greatly with the embellishments that we have on this card. So I like that too. So again, we're just gonna go ahead and do the hanging tail and then layer in some loops. And now I'm going to try to somewhat fill the holes. It's not necessarily intended to be completely filled in. And so like, I'm going to right now cut it at this, but then I'm going to pull it up and show you another way, an idea in doing this. So let's cut it there. I like it. It looks fine. But what I want to try next, so now we can just, and that's the great thing about this tear and tape. Boom. I didn't really like that. Let's try again. So I'm gonna throw this piece, let's see here. And then instead of like basically zigzagging, so like I went up, now I'm gonna come down, and then I went up and down and up and down, that makes the flat. I want it to be a little more loopy, which I actually unintentionally got right there because I didn't stick it down flat. So now I'm going to kind of twist it a little bit. So I flipped the ribbon, and now you get kind of like a Cancer ribbon kind of loop. And then I'm gonna do a straight down. And I'm gonna do a straight down here. And then, so that took a little more, which is fine. I'm gonna put that down there. And actually what I want is one more loopy right here. So I'm gonna pull this back. I don't know if I have enough. So basically, instead of this is flat down and then I bring it flat up, I'm going to turn it and make that loop, which is a little too long. Turn it and make that loop. And now I lost my ability to do a tail, which is absolutely perfectly fine, because then what I'm gonna do is just take a scrap, like I was talking before, and throw a scrap. Pulled up one of my whites on accident. Throw a scrap of just a tail down there. And we're gonna trim that. We're gonna trim this because now it's a little long. And basically, you're just making like a rat's nest of ribbon. It does not have to follow any particular path or pattern. And obviously this doesn't look just like that, and that's okay. So whatever you do is going to look perfectly fine, and it's just adding texture and an additional element to your card. So that is kind of how these ribbon were made and put on the card. Now, this one, very similar, except for instead of using the tear and tape on the bottom, the tear and tape goes on the side, and then the tails and loops go out the sides. I did forget to mention, most of the adhesive is used here, but you usually will want to come back and cover it with what we call a tear and tape sandwich. So it holds two purposes. The first purpose is it's covering up any of the tails, or excuse me, any of the exposed adhesive that didn't get used. And then the other thing is it's really securing down your pile. Now, because of the layers that we've done here, so we've got one layer of adhesive, a layer of ribbon, another layer of adhesive, another layer of ribbon, and then another layer of tear and tape with its back still on it, that gives it a lot of dimension. So I would put dimensionals on the top here to kind of equalize the height of the additional stuff we put down here. Or you could glue this flat, and then you're gonna have the elevation. And you can intentionally do that, so however you want, but that extra height really is evident by all of the layers that we just added. So that is that one. Over here, we've got same concept. We've got layers on layers. We've got small pieces. We've got scraps. We've got straight off the roll. So weave that in and out there on both sides. So that's how you layer up this one. So that one we did. Over here, I love this. There are so many subtle design features here that just make this card so good. So I love how the leaf is tucked beneath the banner here. I love how the banner is made to look like it's flowing from the different levels and layers of dimension. And I really love how these vellum sprigs are tucked in here. They're on the bottom. Then we've got two layers of ribbon. So we've got the white and the gold. Then we've got green die cut leaves. And finally we have our layer of flowers that are die cut or fussy cut out. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. So, same concept here, except for you gotta think backwards. So we're gonna start with our flower. The first layer that we're gonna put down are the leaves. Then we're gonna put the gold. Then we're gonna put the white. Then we're going to either stick down the vellum, or we're gonna stick the vellum on the card and then put the whole sandwich on top of it. So whatever works best in your mind's eye to to achieve this look. And when you participate in the class, which you absolutely should, because these cards are stunning, Chris will walk through every step of the creation of these cards. I'm pretty well solely just focusing on the ribbon and how to layer up the ribbon. But I just wanted to throw that in there because that is on the ribbon pile, the extra die cuts there. This card is a little more simple. Got a couple layers here of additional leaves, and then of course the ribbon stacks. Again, this one's just top and bottom, but to conserve here and also on this first one, you definitely want to just weave up and down from the top and bottom. There is no ribbon in the middle here. Also, what that does is that creates the dramatic look of layers, because this layer can be adhered down flat, and then the dimension is more prevalent because of the ribbon and the layers. So love that. And then last but certainly not least, we've got this card, which I showed off before as our fun fold. We've got different ribbon going off of almost 3 of the sides here. So love that. Again, this is just the zigzag ribbon pattern where you start with the tail and then you just flatly zigzag. But you could throw in some loops in there if you want. So what do you guys think of these cards? I just love them so much. Here, let's just take that off. Do you have a favorite, and are you participating? If you're not, there's still opportunity to do so. You can RSVP to Chris or inquire to Chris whether there's any availability for you to order this card kit before the card goes live, or excuse me, the class goes live. It's early in January, so you'll want to get in contact with Chris somewhat soon. If you're interested in doing this, you can reach her by any of this contact information about how to participate. So I love ribbon. I love ribbon so, so much. I've always loved this white crinkle seam binding ribbon as well. It is a great way to add texture, and it's very universal because it's white, but also it is able to be colored using our blends that you can make it match any of your color schemes for your cards. So keep that in mind too. Not doing that on any of these cards, just keeping it white, because it is kind of sheer and it just really, it's not sheer as in like see-through, but it is really thin so that you can kind of get a little bit of texture of the colors behind it coming through. But yeah, so I hope you really enjoyed these cards and kind of getting a sneak peek at how to do the ribbon here. Let me know what you thought. Still kind of shaking off some of the cloudiness in my brain, so I hope I was able to help you, and I hope it made sense. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and you can catch Chris later